Hi my fellow Africans, welcome again to your channel. Thank you all who subscribe to our channel, like, comment and share our videos. Our aim is to make Africa great again. So let us listen to Dr. Umar Johnson, who will speak more about Africa and the blacks people in different parts of the world. Welcome Dr. Umar Johnson.
AKON has given us a blueprint for how a true African entertainer should behave. He is in Senegal building, promoting, and organizing people for change. The only thing I want our brother AKON to be careful with. One thing I want AKON to be careful with. From what I understand, the Chinese have given him a $500 million line of credit. The Chinese, the neo-colonizer of Africa is the Chinese. The Chinese have given AKON a $500 million line of credit. I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about that. Because as I'm going to talk about tonight at the Lighthouse here in London, the Chinese are buying up Jamaica. The Chinese are buying up the Congo. The Chinese are buying up South Africa. The Chinese are buying up Nigeria. The Chinese are buying up Angola. So I don't want AKON to become an unwilling, okay, agent for Chinese colonialism. Our brother is a good brother. He means well, but I want him to be careful with that $500 million credit from the Chinese government. So brother AKON, if you're listening, please be careful. And for anybody out there who's connected to AKON, have him get in contact with your brother, Dr. Umar Johnson, and he can reach me at 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. I need to talk to AKON so we can start building that FDMG Academy in Senegal. We need that. And for all my African brothers and sisters listening from the continent, I see y'all on Facebook. Y'all need to get with me too. I need land. I need traditional rulers to give me land. 50 acres in every country so we can build a revolutionary Pan-African learning institution for our children in every country in Africa. That's 215-989-9858. My personal cell, add me on WhatsApp, or you can email me DrUmar Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson at yahoo.com. Black Power. The reason it's so hard to organize Africans is because we can't do anything for other Africans. I want to be clear. Accountability is not just about race pride. Accountability and loyalty is not just about race pride. It also comes from a community's ability to provide for its own. Let me give you an example. Chinese children can get a job from Chinese people. Arab children can get a college education from Arab people. You see, Jewish children can get opportunities from the Jewish community. Every other youth can access resource and opportunity within their community. Chinese youth don't have to leave the community to get a job. Jewish youth don't have to leave the community to get housing. Chinese youth, Arab, East Indian, Mexican, you name it, they don't have to leave their community to get a hand up or a handout. But black youth, if an African youth in the UK needs a job, what African can he go to get one? If an African mother is hungry in the UK, where can she go to get fed? If they need a better education for their child, if they need medical care, where is the African institution that looks out for the medical care of African people? We don't have them. Now we have some that are beginning to start up around the diaspora, but as a rule, my brother, our children have to go to the oppressor in order to get resources and opportunity. As long as black youth have to go to the white man in order to get an opportunity, they will never ever in a million years be loyal to the rest of us. Greedy and thirsty African leaders are, and they show up with their briefcase full of money. Chinese corruption is the main reason why they're getting their way in Africa and the Caribbean, because they're paying the leaders for what they get. They paying them for contracts. They bribing them for land. They bribing them for concessions. It is a closed door, private financial deal with African leaders. That's number one. Number two, Africans think they can trust anybody who's not white. Africans think they can trust anybody who's not white. And so the Chinese is setting up Africa for neo-colonialism. In fact, in one African country, was it Kenya? There's at least one African country where they defaulted on their loans to the Chinese. They defaulted on their loans to the Chinese. And as a result of the default, the Chinese are now entitled to certain lands and resources in that African country. I think it's Kenya, but don't quote me. See, when the Chinese say they coming to invest in Jamaica, we coming to invest in Zimbabwe. And by the way, they're teaching Mandarin in the Zimbabwe schools this year. At least they were scheduled to. They are teaching Mandarin in the Zimbabwe schools this year, or at least they were entitled to. So the investment is nothing but a loan. When they say the Chinese are investing £1 billion, okay, in Nigeria, that is a loan. The Nigerian government has to pay that back. The Chinese are very clever because they're not talking about the loan. They're just talking about the giving. Giving. We're giving. We're giving. We're giving. Right now in Jamaica, the Chinese are building what? The first ever large-scale children's hospital in the Caribbean. Jamaica will be home to the first ever large-scale children's hospital in the Caribbean. Well, guess what? The Chinese is lending the Jamaican government the money to build the hospital. And guess what? The Jamaican government is going to turn around and give all the contracts for the hospital to Chinese contractors. So the money they give Jamaica goes right back to the Chinese in the form of contracts, but the government still has to pay the money back to the government of China. It's a win-win situation. It is neo-colonialism, it is exploitation, and it all starts with greedy, selfish, lazy, dishonorable African and Caribbean leadership. Good morning, Tim. Live caller. Tim?
I hope you are listening him carefully. So we as Africa, we must wake up and take the action on how to build a good communities, how to increase our capability, how to increase our education level, and how to organize ourselves to love each other. You know, we Africans, many of us, we didn't love each other. So we as African, we must love each other. So this song is in Swahili language. So the song talk about to love each other. We are together. We are coming from one father, from one mother, so we must love each other. This is the song which talk about. So we as African, we are coming from one continent. We are in relatives, so we must love each other. We must make Africa great, so as our coming generation will see the Africa with a lot of success and a lot of honor. So we as Africa and the young people, we must make our Africa great. So this is our time to organize ourselves and to make Africa great. I hope we are going to make Africa great by doing great things and good things for our people. Thank you, and listen to the song. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you are not subscribed to our channel, so as you can get new updates as our channel called the live updates.